some of you who have been here for a while know that we've been teaching from Joseph Goldstein's book, Mindfulness, which basically is like a pretty clear introduction to the main ideas in the Satipatthana Sutta, which talks about the ways that we meditate and the ways that we practice Buddhism. This is the last chapter, which is about Nibbana or Nirvana. Somehow I ended up with it. I am feeling very underqualified. If this being is destined for Nirvana, it is going to be many lifetimes from now. I have no experience of Nirvana to tell you about, so I can't share it with you that way. And yet, I am still here sitting on my dumb butt. Why? As I thought about speaking to you today, I realized that reflecting on the teachings around Nibbana reminds me what a mindfuck the Dharma is for Western people. It is so counterintuitive to us because there is no goal. I know a bunch of people in this room are therapists, so you know what I'm saying when I say it is very hard for Western capitalism to conceive of an endeavor that doesn't have a goal. What are you doing? Code it, say what the outcome is supposed to be and how long it's going to take you to do it. So if you run the Dharma through that lens, it's easy to think that Nibbana is the goal. But Nibbana is not the goal. It's not the destination. And this is really hard for us, including me, to understand. I forget it all the time. We're not working hard until we get to Nibbana. We're not climbing the mountain until we reach it. It's not where we're going. But it is what we're going towards. Nibbana is the orientation. You cannot arrive at north, but you can go north. So this imagine that the path, this noble eightfold path that we've been talking about, and the Dharma and the work that we do, imagine that it's a spiral. And so instead of going like up a mountain to a destination on the top, I didn't try this at home. Imagine that you're going around the spiral. We're all going around the spiral. And when you go around the spiral, you will pass the same things again and again because you're going around. You're going to face the same obstacles. You're going to see the same temptations over and over again. And you never stop going around the spiral. If you buy into the Buddhist idea, not even when you die. You just keep going around and around. And there's no point in trying to get to the end of the spiral because it's endless, which is why Nibbana can't be the end. So you can walk around the edge of the spiral. I wish this pipe cleaner were so much bigger like our lives, but it's little. So you can walk around the edge of the spiral, and without any mindful awareness, you will just go around that outer ring. And the ring is so wide that you don't even notice you're passing the same things over and over again. Sometimes a ring is so wide, you don't even know it's a circle. It feels like a line because it's just such a great big circle. And you can't see any patterns. With mindful attention, we can start to still do the circle, but do it closer to the inner ring, right? We're still going around, but instead of going around on this ring, we're going around on a smaller inner ring, closer to the center of the spiral. And in here, it's more stable. And also the view is wider, right? If I'm here, I can see here. But if I'm here, I can see all of this. So the view is wider. And the whole system is a lot clearer to us because we can see the other rings and we can see the patterns that are happening as we pass them because we're passing on a tighter little circle. And so it's easier to see that there are patterns there. And we can start to understand the causes and conditions because we have this wider view. And we can see that things are impermanent that if you just stay on the wide outer ring actually seem permanent because of your short view. So in this awesome metaphor that I have constructed for you, Nibbana is this. It's the empty space in the center circle. It's things just as they are, and it's always there. It doesn't matter if you're on the outer circle or the inner circle. Nibbana is always here in the middle. And if you practice enough, that you spend enough time on the little circles in the middle, sometimes you fall in. This can happen when you're meditating. Sometimes just for a second. You are not in the past, you're not in the future, you're not over there, you're just here and now. We call that samadhi. The moment when your mind and your body are all gathered into one place is one little tiny moment of Nibbana. Samadhi is a small moment of Nibbana. And everything that we learn from the Dharma is designed to guide us in orienting towards the center, towards Nibbana, towards freedom. Everything that we sit here and practice is designed to allow us to experience moments of samadhi, of freedom. We're not rushing from the outer ring to the center. That's not even possible on a spiral, but we are inclining towards the middle with the hope of seeing things more clearly the next time we pass around. And if there is faith in Buddhism, it is the embodied faith that comes from experiencing a moment of samadhi and knowing now that that's a thing. It is possible for it to be like that again. If I had a moment all together here and now just once, it's possible and it could happen again. And when we talk about Nibbana, we talk about the idea that I might get to the center circle where my mind and body are together and stay there. That's not the destination. That's the orientation. That's what we're moving towards. Just like we string breaths together, we string moments of samadhi together. It's my experience, and based on what we talk about at tea, probably for you, a similar experience, that if you keep inclining towards the center, you notice that you're spending more time closer to the center. It's not something you're doing. It's just something you notice is happening. And it's not because you're arriving at the destination, it's because you're cultivating a habit. And this can be frustratingly counterintuitive because you cannot make samadhi happen. And you certainly can't make Nibbana happen. You can't. You can't. And I'll tell you that the truth of this, the profound truth of this, is saving me right now when I am truly overwhelmed by all the things I cannot control in my body, in the lives of people I care about, in my neighborhood, in the world. I do not know how I would be able to get through this or get up without what the Dharma is compassionately telling me. No amount of trying will get me free. No amount of exerting, no amount of being on my grind or giving 110%, no amount of discipline, no amount of self-sacrifice will get me free. You've heard me tell the story about the American monk who goes to Thailand and asks the head monk, how many years till I get to Nirvana? And the monk says 10 years. And the guy says, 10 years? What if I work really hard? And the head monk says, for you, 20. And the guy says, you just told me 10. And the monk says, for you, 50. Rings true. I'm not going to lie to you. I loved that old myth about me as the master of my fate and captain of my soul and savior of my people. I loved the fantasy of power. I was very attached to it. Parts of me still are, but it is killing me. Because when that myth always disappoints, and it always does, I assume what's disappointing is me. That's delusion. That's suffering. That is simultaneously the hardest thing to hear and the most liberating understanding of things as they really are. There is very much that I cannot actually control. But it matters very much where I incline. It matters what I practice, but the outcome is not up to me. And the outcome might not be in my lifetime. Like Rabbi Tarfon said, you are not obligated to finish the work, nor are you free to abandon it. It's bigger than me, but I matter in it. My every inclination might bring me closer to freedom, and my missed opportunities aren't failures. They're part of the practice, and I just begin again. Bhikkhu Bodhi said there are only two requisites for achieving Nibbana: that you start practicing and that you continue. So Nibbana is the idea that we might never leave the center circle. We'll never depart from the experience of the mind and the body being in one place right here, right now. No longer yanked around by the suffering of impermanence, because it's always here and always now. Is that a thing? Maybe, maybe not. In many Buddhist traditions, beings achieve Nibbana and then they fall out again. But it doesn't really matter. It's not about whether it's possible. It's about what you're aiming at. This is a real aim for the moon and you'll land among the stars kind of deal. Or as Robert Browning said, a man's reach should exceed his grasp, or what's heaven for? What's heaven for? What's Nibbana for? To give you a good direction to reach, that's all. Let's practice inclining towards freedom for a couple of minutes.